What's going on, YouTube? It's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I ain't late, you is, okay? Y'all better be hitting the wine glasses as usual. And I know a lot of y'all watch me on TV. If you could just open up your phones and hit that like for me real quick or dislike, all right? In the meantime, everything's allegedly. Even my name, my whole being is allegedly. Y'all better be hitting the wine glass. What's going on, y'all? Happy Tuesday. I'm sorry I couldn't make it yesterday. That's because I couldn't walk, all right? Today I got up and Jesus rose and allowed me to rise, okay? I threw my back out doing deadlifts, okay? Too many deadlifts, 16 rounds of 10 with power cleans and chest to bar pull-ups. My ass could not move, okay? Now, we got a full show for y'all today, okay? I told y'all, as soon as this altercation went down at the Grammys, I got a phone call, but I was bent over, so I couldn't, not bent over like that. You know what I'm saying? I wish it was that type of bent over, but I was bent over like because my back was stuck. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I just hit it right there and it was sore. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't get up to do the live. And every time I sat down, my mouth was shaking like. So I was like, I can't come up here giving y'all a live and my mouth shaking from the nerve pressure. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. So I said, I'll just wait till I'm better. I thought I was going to be out till Tuesday, but God said I could come back to work today. All right. So yeah, as soon as the altercation went down at the Grammys, they gave me a call right from backstage and told me what went down. It was not Offset or Quavo's fault. Okay, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about JPrince and Offset, all right? I got some interesting information on that, and I just wish that Offset just would not take the bait, okay? He's giving me my sister-in-law's energy right now, and it's not working, all right? Also, we're going to be talking about Diddy and Burna Boy, okay? Diddy took to Instagram to diss Burna Boy. Okay, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that and why Diddy decided to diss him, all right? Also, Sam Smith and, of course, Ben Affleck and JLO, okay? Are we surprised at all? Teddy, are you surprised? I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce my co-host. He's only been here 7 years with me beside me, okay? Remember when we was in the bedroom with no paint on the wall and no sheets on the bed, because I only put sheets on the bed when people came to spend the night because I didn't want everybody's rank behind sitting on them sheets, including yours, okay? But listen, before we get started, okay, we got to take a moment and thank our sponsors and also tell you and show you what new projects we got coming out on TashaKLive.com, okay? Introducing Scars as well as a few other new advertisers, all right? Hold that thought. Like the video or dislike it if you hit a hate. It doesn't matter. We just want your participation, okay? We love both sides. We got some sponsors that we need to brag about, which means boldly raise a glass to. We will be right back. Many hair relaxers contain harmful chemicals, and recent studies have shown that women who have used hair relaxers are twice as likely more often to develop uterine cancer compared to those women that don't. People who have used hair relaxers at least 4 times a year are nearly as likely to develop uterine cancer and twice than likely to develop ovarian cancer compared to those that don't. The hair relaxer industry has the responsibility to provide safe products to the consumers whom they market to, and they have the duty to take care of those whom they have hurt. If you've developed an illness and have used a hair relaxer, you can contact Morgan & Morgan to see if you have a case. When you're going up against Big Pharma, you need the biggest to fight for you. Morgan & Morgan is one of the largest personal injury firms with over 800 attorneys nationwide, ready to fight for you. With Morgan & Morgan, you will learn if you have a case with only a few clicks, and it will cost you absolutely nothing. You only pay if you win. All right, so I spoke too early, okay? We'll be actually running our teaser for our new show series available on TashaKLive.com titled Scars by Tasha K a little later in the show, okay? And also, I got an announcement to make, but I'm not going to make it here, and y'all are going to be so mad, but I don't care. All right. I told my appers, TashaKLive.com, they was going to get the announcement first, okay? And so I don't want to hear nothing that you guys second dibs, okay? I just want to let you know, you know what I'm saying, it's going over there first, but that's after the show because, you know, we got 2 shows, all right? But real quick, let's just go and get into the wine, okay? White wine. Maybe a rosé, you know what I'm saying? Ben Affleck and JLO. Who's surprised that they're fighting? Who's surprised? I don't think anybody's surprised, okay? Given JLo's statistics on marriage, she's responsible for our high divorce rates that we have going on here in the country and $500 divorces that you could get, okay? If you don't have any assets and things like that, you can get a divorce real quick for $500 thanks to our spokesperson here, JLo, okay? And I think if she was to run an ad with a particular law firm, it would sell. Let's just be honest. It would sell, okay? We would believe her. I mean, she knows how to get out of divorces with money, okay? And she knows how to reel them back in, okay? And so she was able to reel Ben Affleck back in at his highest moment because, remember, she didn't want him. She didn't want him, okay? He gave her a ring, gave her about 3-4 carats. She didn't want him. She said, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you, okay? Then all of a sudden, she wants him back. All right. Now, I don't think that we're surprised that they're fighting at the Grammys. However, I did get a call about their fight and why they were fighting. But before we get into why they were fighting, I want you to look at some of the mannerisms that was going on at the Grammys. A lot of times they say it's us. They say it's the red wine, but no, it's rosé today. Okay. It's Bronx today. All right. Let's go ahead and roll some of this footage. Let's go. Let's go. Just look at the mannerisms. Just look at the fakeness. Especially when you start seeing white men go like this. You know? Look at it. It's another clip here. Look, he is over. He want to be whole. He remind me of Shaq right there. Like he didn't want to go out nowhere and she drug him out. He don't want to be around none of these fake people, but he got to support her. And he just would rather be at home. He thought he was going to pop open a nice cold ice beer, okay? Yeah, let's roll that first clip one more time when JLo was giving the housewife. Look at her. That's a real wife right there. Look. She's ooh, you can tell. Look, Trevor Noah ain't had no business right now. It wasn't none of his business what was going on, okay? And so listen, our source at the Grammys, okay, did tell us real quick that they were fighting because he wanted a drink. No joke, okay? They were passing out champagne and all types of drink like water, okay? Everything was free there. They didn't have to pay for anything. And, you know, he's recovering. And every now and then he does indulge, okay? But he doesn't go overboard, all right? But JLo is afraid that during events like this, he may go overboard. So she doesn't want him drinking at all because everybody around him is drinking. And so this particular argument had everything to do with her trying to watch his diet, trying to watch his alcohol intake and things like that. And it gave pure housewife. I'm going to be honest with you. It gave pure wife. That is everything that a wife would do. That's what I be doing, okay? Especially when somebody walk in on me and Shake arguing. We just turn around like... and he like this because he ready to go. Ben Affleck was ready to go, okay? You didn't see how he was standing? Shake, put that clip back up like this. You see how he was standing like, I don't know who these singers are. I don't care. Listen, I've been filming all month. Not that one, the other one. What the other one is? The other one. The other one. This one. Look at him. Everybody else there, he just like, why? 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 It had everything to do with him being at an almost 5-hour event, not including prep time. You gotta understand, like, these events take a lot to get ready for, okay? And don't tell her what JLO had him doing all day, pre-Grammy, post-Grammy, during Grammy. This man is tired. He's been filming. You know, he's trying to get her house sold. He's trying to buy another house. He's trying to secure, you know, more movie deals and things like that. And this is the last place he want to be, okay, listening to music he ain't never heard before, all right? But because she wanted to be there, you know what I'm saying? It's been a long time since anybody's accompanied her to an award show, and she's tired of going alone. She's JLO. She shouldn't have to go alone, so she drug his ass on out the house, okay? He wanted to drink because he was stressed because of all the festivities, and she said, hell no, you ain't drinking nothing, okay? You ain't drinking a goddamn thing. And I don't blame her. I was just talking to Shaq about a Philly cheesesteak that he had today. I said, sir, you're 42 years old. You can't be eating no foot-long 42 Philly cheesesteaks with cheese and steak all on it, and you chasing it with a soda, okay? You think you got a heart better than Kevin Samuels? No, you don't. It was no cheese on it. It was still a bunch of bread. Okay? And so, yeah, sometimes we got to do that. So I don't think JLo was out of character for protecting her asset, okay? Because she's determined to make this one last. I don't think it's going to last, but she is determined in her mind that this is the last time she is walking into anybody's divorce office, okay? And so, listen, I just got to put some respect on that. He just wanted to drink, and she said no. I don't care how stressed you are. No, you ain't having no drink. You know, you don't know how to drink. You don't know how to just take a drink and just drink and that be it. You got to have drink after drink after drink. And she ain't finna take care of him. Not today. You ain't finna embarrass her. And this is the first time she done had a man by her side at her Grammys in a long time. Mess up. Get up out of here. Move. All right, moving on. You say I'm crazy. Did I say you say the words right? And you don't think I know what you've done. And when you call me baby. See that song right there? That's why I was a fan. Was, okay? I was a fan when white women thought you were straight. That's how long I've been a fan. Let me tell you how I know they thought he was straight, okay? Because he came into a restaurant I was working at the time, True Food Kitchen down at Lenox Mall, okay? I stopped working there because they didn't know how to stop shooting in the parking lot, okay? And he came in with his entourage. I waited on him, and all other little white girls were surrounding his table. I mean, you would have thought they saw a ghost, and I was like, who they talking about? Why are they surrounding my table? What is going on? I'm trying to make $20 to $50 off this table, and they are getting in the way. They asking for autographs. I had no idea who he was. No clue. But he looked straight. I couldn't tell. I could not tell. And it was that night I went to Google his music, and I said, well, damn, he can sing. He can really sing. I said, wow. I see why these little girls are going crazy. He's singing all these love songs and everything. I would have thought it was a black man. I promise you, he sang just that well. And so for years, this is all we knew. We didn't know nothing else. We didn't know he had nipple rings. We didn't know he pissed his scrotum. We didn't know he wore women's panties at night. We did not know. We had no clue. And if you ask me, you catfished us. And now you got the audacity to sing a song talking about unholy. I read the lyrics. Matter of fact, let me pull them up for you real quick, because it's mighty funny how you used us to build your fan base off women, okay? And we thinking that you singing to us, but not a whole time. The whole time you singing to your inner. Hold on for a second. Wait a minute. Let me pull up unholy lyrics, because this is really unholy. This you got that right, Sam. This is really extremely unholy. I cannot believe it, okay? Mommy don't know daddy's getting hot at the body shop. Doing something unholy. He lucky, yeah, oh yeah. Hold on. A lucky girl. She got married to a boy like you. She'd kick you out if she ever knew. About all the time you tell me that you do, you dirty boy. You know everyone is talking on the scene. I hear them whispering about the places you've been and how you don't know how to keep your business clean. He talking about a whole married man being down low. Let me keep reading, okay? Mommy don't know daddy's getting hot at the body shop, okay? And let me go on to the next verse, okay? Really ain't no next verse, okay? You gonna need to bag it up because I'm spending on rodeo. You can watch me back it up. I've been gone in the AM. And he get me Prada, get me like Rihanna. He always called me because I never cause no drama. Now, everybody, when I see every single news outlet out here dragging him, I can understand. Because this is the definition of a true catfish. It's kind of like you bred us to listen to a certain style of music from you. And we welcomed your art because it literally touched our soul. And then when you grab our soul, this is what you want to present us. You want to tell us to fall in love with the man. We playing your songs at our weddings, marrying the men we love, and then yet you going to make a song saying that he left the wedding to come see you. Our men left the wedding to come see you, and that was very, very, very unholy. I see why they're dragging him. You listen, you're not, this is not Michael Jackson. See, Michael Jackson was really good at creating different themes for albums. So we got to see an evolution of his art, okay? It was different. Like he had Thriller. I can't think of the other themes. Don't get me the line. Okay, but Beyonce does it. You know, one day she's got, Innocent Girl. Next day she's doing, Renaissance. It's different themes, okay? And because he's been theming Straight Boy for so long, all right? And then even when he came out the closet, the songs weren't singing because nobody received him the way that they did because he wasn't honest with himself. He wasn't honest with us. And when we come to artists, we want you to be honest, okay? Or either Luther Vandross said. Luther Vandross never changed his style. Even though he did what he did, I had no problem with that. But Luther Vandross didn't come out here and change his songs and switch it up for the same gender. He didn't do that to us. When he said a house was not a home, he left it at that. A house is not a home. Don't matter who in it. It don't matter who, a chair is still a chair. Even when you're not there. Don't start singing right now. Don't start singing, okay? And so, like, I get it. I know that they're putting a lot of money into him, but I just don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. And the more he tries to push the corsets and the lace fronts and the pierced nipples on us, it's hard for us to receive him because we fell in love with something different. Now we don't know what this is. And so we feel unholy receiving the music. We feel satanic receiving the music. It's not the same way I received you. And it's like, who are you? Who are you? I don't know who you are. Who are you? Is the question. Who are you? Until you can tell, first of all, until you can tell yourself, you're gonna have to go back outside. You have to go outside, wipe your feet off, come back in again, okay? Wash your hands before you hit before you come touch this food. Moving on. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments real quick. Let me see. Remember, after this show, we got our second part of the show, okay? Ooh, Kevin Hunter is broke. I told y'all he was broke, okay? Now he out here begging like a baby mama. All right, we're going to talk about that on TashaKLive.com. We're also going to talk about Megan Thee Stallion finally taking my advice, okay? When it came to party, we're going to be discussing that in depth, and Neo's mistress talking. She's not supposed to be talking. You're supposed to be a mistress. We're not supposed to know who you are or the things that you say. You're talking, and it's not sounding good. because you were never approached by Neo to talk. So we're going to be discussing that on TashKLive.com after this show, okay? So stay tuned for that, all right? Moving on. Do you want me to take a break real quick? We good? Keep going? Okay. All right. So Diddy is taking shots at Burna Boy. Okay, it's the audacity for me. Now he know if he had seen Burna Boy in person, he wouldn't have said what he said. He would have been like, "Brother, I love you. Look, it's all love. It's all love." The only let me tell you what he said real quick before so it makes sense. Okay, so Burna Boy was nominated for a Grammy. Did not win the Grammy. Okay, this was his second album. I believe he submitted, because you got to submit your stuff to the Grammys for it to be considered. Okay, to be nominated or even voted for. Okay, and so he submitted his stuff to the Grammys. He did not win, although his first album that he did, which was titled Twice as Tall. Okay. 20% produced by Diddy, did win a Grammy, and that's what prompted Diddy to take to Instagram, all right, to diss Burna Boy, okay, and tell Burna Boy that he thought, hold on for a second, let me make sure, because I don't want to put words in Mr. Diddy's mouth, okay, okay, I don't Google Diddy's mouth, Jesus, this is how bad I'm horrible at multitasking, okay? Hold on, because I want to tell you what's going on here. Okay? All right, so there's Diddy. I guess they're saying Diddy is shading him. No, okay? Diddy takes to Instagram to say to his story, okay, that I helped you win your first and only Grammy Award, which I did out of the kindness of my heart. Now, I don't believe that at all, okay? And somehow you thought you could win another without my help. Oh, okay. So basically he took shots at Burna Boy because Burna Boy didn't come back a second time to ask Diddy to help co-produce his album. Even though Diddy did co-produce 20% of Burna Boy's first album, he did it for free over Zoom. Okay, so basically he served as a consultant to the album, okay? I don't think he had any 80% done. He didn't have any way to kind of mix down records or bring him in the studio, because everything was done virtually, because he was in his home country in Africa and Diddy was, on lockdown. We were all on lockdown due to COVID, okay? And so Burna Boy reached out to Diddy asking him, when the album was 80% done, okay, his first album, to help put him in contact with a bunch of producers that he needed, and he asked if he would be a listening ear, okay? And so for Diddy to take credit for something that Burna Boy did, 80%, and you just came in as a consultant, that's really bold. That's extremely bold. For you to take credit. See, this is why people don't be wanting to help people around here. This is why people don't want to mentor people. This is why people don't want to seek mentors. It's because of situations like this, okay? This man obviously looked up to you. He gave you credit. You won a Grammy. You won a co-producing Grammy. Okay, so it's not like you did it out of the kindness of your heart. You did it because you knew that you were going to get something out of the deal. And frankly, who's hiring you, sir, to co-produce anything? Because your contracts are bogus. Okay, you like to lock people in for a lifetime. So I'm so glad that Burna Boy came to him when his album was 80% done, the first album, to ask him for consulting fees. And I just would have gave you a consulting fee. This is why a lot of times you can't take stuff for free, because guess what? They're gonna come and take to their story when you don't win, or when you're down, and try to kick you while you're down. But Burna Boy ain't down, okay? But Diddy is just kind of using this as a jab, like, well, if you had came to me the second time, we would have won again. But sir, how much would it have cost me? How much would it have cost me? Like, what was the price? Because if this is the cost, you taking to social media to take credit for all my work that I did, and I literally hired you as a consultant, I don't want it. And let's look at your track record, Diddy. Everybody from women to men to artists, okay, to whether female artists or male artists, you heard what I said, from women to men that he's been with, to artists, to female artists and male artists, nobody has came out on top. They're either broke or in the ground. Broke or in the ground. And so he did the smart thing. He looked at your track record. He took a look at your resume, got what he could out of you, okay? Because you are a phenomenal producer. There's no thought about that. But your work history, when he looked at your work history, it seemed he had to go by what your resume say, sir. And so if everybody on your roster is broke, do you think this man was going to allow you to break his pockets too? Or better yet, send him under the ground? Do you? Or maybe ask him to bend down to the ground for payment? No, sir. No. Okay? So I'm kind of with Burna Boy on this one. I think he did the smart thing. He got in. He got what he needed. He got out. He paid respect, gave this man a Grammy. But for the second time, not everybody's going to win a Grammy every time. Okay? Not everybody has the capacity to buy Grammys like you do, sir. And who's to say you didn't even buy that first Grammy that he received, okay? Because we saw the award that Carisha Please got for that podcast. And Lord knows that podcast award should have went to Drink Champs. I mean, how does somebody win podcast of the year with 3 podcasts? 2 podcasts. So I don't even take it. I don't even believe that he actually won it. I think maybe it was just you trying to get back in the door because you're trying to produce R&B. You're trying to connect yourself with a lot of these African artists who are now leading in the R&B scene, okay? They're heavy competition out here, always been heavy competition. You guys have always kind of stolen from their original music, and now that they're on the map via Netflix, Grammys, and all of that, y'all can't take no more. And so that's exactly what he's mad about. He thought that he was going to be able to buy a Grammy, okay? Give it to him, and then he'll come back and sign his whole life rights over to him, okay? No, sir. No, sir. Burna Boy, I'm waiting. I'm waiting on your 3rd studio album, okay? Go get Dr. Dre this time. Go get Dr. Dre, okay? He likes to hit, but not the pockets. Okay? Moving on. All right. Now, real quick before we move on, to our main topics, okay, which is JPrince and Offset, as well as Offset and Quavo. Like I said, as soon as the altercation went down, I got a phone call immediately from backstage, okay? Just like I got the phone call about Ben Affleck and JLO, and all the argument was him wanting a drink, and she said no, okay? We're going to take a moment and let you kind of see what's coming up next on TashaKLive.com, our new series, TV series, not TV series, streaming series, Scars, okay? Produced in studio by us, so we're really excited. Like I said, we got a lot of original forum content coming to TashaKLive.com outside of the entertainment news and things like that. And so without further ado, we're going to let you see what's coming up on TashaKLive.com. And then after the break, we'll get to the Offset and Quavo altercation. And then, okay, we're going to start the second part of our show, all right? Here we go. Listen close and listen carefully. The olive leaf extract can reverse high blood pressure and diabetic high blood sugar, or the sugar as some of our grandmamas may call it. It can also kill any nasty little bugs in your bodies like parasites, bacteria, fungi, tumors, and much, much more. And if that's not enough, you can also tell certain cancers like breast, prostate, colon, liver, and skin cancer to take a seat because the olive leaf extract has been known to fight it. And their friend lupus can get it too, okay? So I need my winos to be in good health because we have some good dragging to do. So visit myoliveleaf.biz to help get your health in order.
My name is Sierra Carroll. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I was gang raped March the 7th, 2021. I remember me trying to sit down and stuff, and I wasn't able to sit because my vagina was hurting. That night, it was just hard for me because I just was all in my mind and trying to, just putting things in my head, trying to figure out what could have happened to me. The next day, The girl Jay, she was basically leaving that day, going back to her home city, which is mine too, Richmond, Virginia. And my sister was there. She stayed there with us that night. I never mentioned anything to them that night because I was just trying to figure it out myself. So basically, when she was ready to leave, I pulled her to the side apart from my sister, and I was asking her, I'm like, what supposedly happened last night? She goes to say that, what you mean? And I'm like, who was I supposedly been with someone or anything? Like, who was I with? They had to look inside my vagina, and then the lady told me that it was like as if that I just had a baby. Because mind you, I have been celibate for 2 years. I don't.
All right, so you did see a portion of episode 1 on our new streaming series, Scars. Okay, if you do know someone who has been scarred, whether scammed or have just been a victim of something so brutal, please feel free to email us at stories@tashaklive.com. That is stories@tashaklive.com. We will be honored to give you a platform to tell your story here, okay? And so I'm excited about this new series. The viewers on tashaklive.com, they are loving it. They are eating it up because it's just so real. And that's what I wanted. Something was so real and just authentic, and something that really speaks to us, whether we have been through similar situations like this or not. We're able to see it through their eyes, and that's why it's filmed the way that it is, okay? And so shout out to Sierra Carroll for, just being so vulnerable with us and detailing such and just being able to have the courage to come up here and tell her story to thousands and potentially millions as well too. So I'm honored, okay? And so you can watch that full series on TashaKLive.com. We'll be dropping a new episode every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TashaKLive.com. All right. Now let's get into some things, okay? These wanksters, okay? JPrince and Offset, and I wish, and this has a lot to do with I like to say partnerships, who you surround yourself with, right? Because who you surround yourself with is a reflection of who you are, okay? And I think it's a responsibility when you're in certain partnerships or relationships with people that they keep you on track, especially if there's a goal, like there's a big goal, that needs to be reached. And I'm talking about Offset take it to the internet to respond to JPrince and JPrince Jr. after his cousin was unfortunately murdered in their city, and ultimately with them, okay? And so you guys know I don't really touch on death or anything like this. And so the reason I chose to talk about this is because I've seen all of the interviews that JPrince Jr., Mob Ties, has done about the situation. And I thought it was real strange that, JPrince is supposed to be this gangster, this mob figure. And everyone has to, in Houston that comes through has to come and check in. But, it's very rare that you would see a mobster or even, let's say El Chapo or anybody doing interviews, okay? They don't do interviews. But I feel there's something going on in our culture, as blacks or as African Americans, period, to where we always just have to be in front of a camera. We always have to be the loudest, the flashiest, which is that's okay because that's a part of who we are. That's what makes us who we are. But sometimes I feel that it's taken overboard, and a lot of times, these so-called gangsters or mob leaders, as he brands himself to be, I think he forgets a lot of time the persona that his own persona that he put out, and he's softening that persona. Okay, I was literally raised by people who have done time, and done time and did their time without snitching. 30 years, 40 years. I'm talking about back in the 80s and 70s and stuff. My uncles and them were in Florida. You know what I'm saying? They were the guys, okay? And not you would never ever hear them on an interview sending shots, okay? And so what I heard JPrince do for the 5th time, because he's been trying, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it too once I play these videos, because I want you to hear what's going on here, because you know the roles have switched, okay? And I don't even think Offset knew that he had the upper hand until he responded yesterday, okay? And that's why I say it's important to monitor who's in your circle, because if you would know the game of chess, and that's why a lot of people got to read books like the 48 Laws of Power, the Art of War, things like that, you would have saw that JPrince was literally showing his hand when he did interview number 1, interview number 2, interview number 3, interview number 4, interview number 5. And this man ain't even been buried 3 months. 3 months. And you're out here doing interviews. You're out here placing flowers at a vigil, but the flowers don't say Takeoff. The flowers say the JPrince family. That, like, it's ridiculous. Like, you can't make this up. And I'm just like, he doesn't even understand, like, this whole persona that you decided to put out here for people to be afraid of. Nobody's scared of you anymore. Maybe they were at one point, but now, and I wish if Offset would have just been told to just be quiet, he would have done 10 interviews and 12 interviews and 15 interviews, okay? Let's roll and see what he had to say on $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, JPrince, okay? And then we're going to follow it with Offset responding, okay? But before we follow it with Offset responding, I'm going to come back and then we're going to introduce Offset, okay? Let's go ahead and roll this footage.
Be throwing rocks and hiding their hand, right? They be throwing rocks and hiding their hand. And I don't like them kind of individuals. You know, and the truth of the matter is, you know, one can dance and different things in front of these different cameras and all that kind of shit. And when reality, the truth of the matter is, you know, nigga, you wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive. You know what I mean? So for you to be taking these positions that you taking, you know what I mean? And I got people everywhere, so I hear all kinds of things. I'm going to just say this to you. Don't never put me in no position where, you know, I have to defend myself. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be healthy for you.
Now, that wasn't no wankster message there, okay? And let me tell you why, okay? First of all, real OGs, they don't do interviews and they don't send shots like female rappers over podcasts, okay? To men who are younger than them, to men that are supposed to look up to them and respect them. They don't have to. Your silence is everything, okay? And Offset was doing a very, very good job at that, being silent, okay? That's the reason why they were taken from podcast. They were going from podcast to podcast to the point where he just had to just say Offset's name and say that he heard from people, and I got people everywhere, that he's saying, he say, she say, and I heard what you said. Matter of fact, this broad I'm laying up with, you know what I'm saying, came back and told me something. And so don't put me in a position. And to top it off, you wasn't even there when he died. You know why he did that, right? You know why he did that? Because here's the thing. It's very strange to someone who's supposed to be this mob leader, okay, that Offset hasn't said anything to them. Nothing. That silence was bothering the mob. It was bothering them. Every time they watched him on a vacation, him doing shows, and he's silent. But yet he's posting pictures and honoring his brother, right? His cousin. They're trying to figure out, like, if Quavo Quavo is not dealing with us, but we know where he stands. They're absolutely like shitting their pants because they can't figure out what his next move is. This is why he took the podcast to even send shots the way that he did, because he could not get a response out of Offset, and he needed to know how safe he was. They haven't snitched on him. They haven't spoken to no police. We're talking about Offset and Quavo, which I find rather strange, okay? Especially on Quavo's part. Nobody that's my relative is going to pass in front of me, okay? And I'm not going to cooperate. I get that the streets have their own code, but we can do both out here. And at the same time, you got a family that you got to be here for, so you let them cats handle that in jail. That's the whole reason you cooperate. Then you handle that in jail. Just don't be stupid like Young Thug, making phone calls directly. Okay? You handle that other ways. But this man who calls himself a mob, a gangster, had to sit on a podcast and send triggering words to Offset because he didn't know what Offset's mind was. It scared the shit out of him. But the moment Offset did this here, let's roll this video.
Brother, I don't know what y'all got, what the y'all niggas got going on. Y'all niggas speak on my real brother. How dare one of y'all niggas even speak on me and Tate relationship? I don't know you from a can of paint. Y'all don't know how me and my brother rock. You trying to clear your face. This your 5th interview. You done did about my brother. You ain't think about his mama. You ain't think about the family. We ain't said nothing. Ain't nobody said nothing but you. You man, who y'all think y'all is? John got it. Ain't nobody going for none of that, bro. I ain't studying none of that y'all talking about either. And if you heard something from me, I'ma tell you it's gonna come from me. Call my phone. Y'all going off of he say, she say. Then y'all nigga supposed to be this is who y'all supposed to be. And y'all interviews and it out on the interview. Talking about I said this. Call my phone, homie. You call my phone, we'll have a conversation. They're gonna talk about all that plant internet.
Now, although I do agree with Offset, but Offset just showed his hand. That's what they wanted. They wanted to know where he was mentally. They wanted to know if they were safe to walk the streets. Because the main family member that was the closest, the one who is still grieving, hasn't said anything to them, they're scared. Him and his son. And when I saw his son, JPrince Jr., bitch ass, take to a podcast and brag about the way Takeoff and another rapper died. And they didn't die like that. Well, how did they die, sir? Tell me, they didn't die like that. Well, how did they die? How did they die? If you gonna sit on a podcast less than 2 months after this man passed away in your care, but you're gonna sit down and brag about them not dying that way, how did they die? Why are you doing podcasts? They're doing podcasts because they're scared. And I hope to God that these boys don't do nothing crazy. Because all that stuff, let me tell you something. This is all that he wanted. He just wanted to know mentally what Offset was, because Offset was too quiet and it was making him lose more hair. Roll that video real quick of JPrince. We're going to see. Stress do this.
Be throwing rocks and hiding their hand, right? They be throwing rocks and hiding their hand.
You see that?
And
you can take it down.
I don't like them kind
spending $40K on strippers for vagina. You ain't caught him not once, but this one got you scared because now you know that respect that you once had in Houston, nobody has that respect for you no more. Nobody. That's why you having to come out here and do interviews, because nobody won't tell you what he's saying. And so you only did that so you could see where his mind was. I just wish he would just be smarter. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. And whatever you're going to do, you do it. But at the same time, Offset, you are a father of 5, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 5? It ain't nothing going to bring back your cousin at all. But there's something that could take your kid's father away. And once that's gone, you can't come back from that either. Now, let's move on to this Quavo and Offset altercation, okay? There was an altercation between both of their entourages, and it wasn't their fault at all, okay? Both of these men are still highly emotional about Takeoff's passing, okay? And when I got the phone call when they were backstage, they were arguing because the Grammy producers promised Offset that he would be able to join Takeoff on stage during the tribute. So he's getting ready to go on stage, and Quavo is like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going on stage. The producer said I get to go on stage with you. He said, nah, man, you ain't going on stage. This is mine. He wasn't even informed on the plan because the Grammys had this whole big thing because they couldn't get these two to talk that they somehow would do it if they were kind of forced to do it in a position like this, thinking that if there were people around, they would somehow put their differences aside and give them this big show after they had done already got a big show for Black History Month, okay? And still screwed a lot of black artists out of rightful awards that belonged to them, okay? But they just thought this was going to be the icing on the cake, and this is what everybody wanted to see. A moment between Quavo and Offset, but they hadn't had a conversation because of unfinished issues, okay? Business related and family related before the passing of Takeoff, okay? And so now you got all of that egged on top of Takeoff leaving unexpectedly, okay? And then now they really got unresolved issues because he wasn't there. And so now he got the guilt of him not being there, him not being able to have that conversation that he should have had, because you just never know when it's going to be somebody's last day. This is why I'm a firm believer in not going to bed mad at nobody at all, okay? It ain't even worth that. You may not wake up tomorrow, they may not make it home tomorrow, but you harboring stuff that's not important. That's really not important. And now you resent each other because you're blaming each other for what happened, and really it was no one's fault. And so the Grammys thought it would be this big thing to go and tell Offset, after not clearing it with Quavo, and it was Quavo's song, that he would be able to join him on stage, and he'd get there, and guess what? All those emotions, all that heated unresolved issues that they had going on comes into play, okay? And that's when you hear my sister-in-law back there, y'all both wrong. Not really. I mean, yeah, they're wrong, but at the same time, these men still got bills to pay. They still fighting lawsuits with labels. He got to make up for all the contracts that he signed while Takeoff was alive. He trying to pick up the pieces. Offset still trying to make bills and pay bills. That's why he had to go right back to work 3 weeks after his cousin died and couldn't even mourn. There's a lot going on. And so the Grammys, that was really messed up on their part, okay? When you're gonna try to do show business, you have to have a conversation, especially when it's involving something as deep as what they went through that is still unresolved. And then Offset has to take to the internet later that day after getting into an altercation. They didn't physically fight, but their entourages, if they didn't get in the way, these two would have been fighting. So they were arguing. Because Offset, all he wanted to do was join the set. He just wanted to join the set. Because it really did look weird. I'm going to be honest with you. It looked weird, and it looked like there's still some unresolved issues, and it's getting petty at this point that he sat on stage with a picture of all three of them behind him, and you couldn't say, man, okay, join me at the end of the song. You couldn't say, just join me at the end of the song. He ain't have to sing the song, but if his picture back there, it looks stupid and it looks embarrassing for him to have to watch that, and he right backstage. He right backstage. So guess what? They really pissed off. And instead of the Grammys being professional to say, can we figure this out, how both of y'all can be in the same frame just to honor your cousin and not embarrass the family? Can we do that? No. They didn't do that. Okay, they didn't do that. And that's what we got. So it ain't neither one of their fault. Okay? And right now, it ain't their time to be talking because, like I said, there's a lot. They still going through the grieving process. There's like 9 stages of grieving. They on one. And social media and them going back to work and then lawsuits with quality control is not helping, okay? Then you got QC going to get Offset, and Offset still mad at QC about the damn Cole lawsuit that they done filed against him, knowing that he's just been trying to separate himself. And they were probably, from what I was told, the reason why they are not a group together. What's going on? Oh, okay. I thought you was raising your hand. I was like, what you raising your hand for? Okay? So just pray for him. Just keep everybody in prayer. Just keep everybody in prayer. This shit is getting thick out here. And I just don't want to see no more just useless, just deaths of black men, especially at the hands of old, used up OGs. You can tell the man is stressed. Like I said, you can tell he's stressed. Play the video of his hair real quick. Look at him. That's stress. JPrince. That's stress.
Be throwing rocks and hiding their hand, right? They be throwing rocks and hiding their hand. And I don't like them kind of individuals, and the truth of the matter is, one can dance and different things in front of these different cameras and all that kind of shit. And when reality, the truth of the matter is,
the only person dancing in front of cameras and podcasts is yo refusing to go bald-headed ass. Now I gotta go. Okay? Now, before I go, remember, we are headed into the second part of our show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TashaKLive.com, okay? We will be talking about Kevin Hunter admitting in court docs that he's broke now. Broke, okay? Also, Neo's mistress, I guess she thought that we wanted her to talk. I didn't even reach out and ask for an interview, okay? If I didn't reach out and ask for an interview, what makes you think we want you posting, okay? What makes you think we want to hear from you? Okay. Also, we're going to be talking about Megan Thee Stallion. Looks like she took us up on our advice and got rid of Party. Okay. Guess the party just wasn't hitting no more. All right. But we're going to talk about that as well as a few other topics. Okay. And so, listen, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TashaKLive.com. We will get the second part of our show started. Okay. It is the uncensored version. I am heavily censored over here. I cannot cuss. I can say ass, damn. That's about it. Okay. Any other thing that I say, they take my money. And I need my money. Okay. Also, the first episode of our digital series Scars has just premiered on TashaKLive.com. It will be premiering every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TashaKLive.com. I'm going to go ahead and sign out real quick with this trailer on Scars, as well as our advertisers. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, subscribe. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm back on Twitter. Bigo at Unwind with Tasha K. If you have tips on your favorite celebrities, please feel free to hit me at unwindwithtasha@gmail.com. Okay, that is unwindwithtasha@gmail.com. If you want to advertise, please hit us at ads at TashaKLive.com. Again, I'm going to sign off with our new digital series Scars. I hope that you guys subscribe to TashaKLive.com to watch the digital series. Remember, we just premiered our 4th and final episode on our PPP series involving Pastor Larry Reed, okay, and the story of 15-year-old Lavontre Adams that is also available on TashaKLive.com. And I will see you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TashaKLive.com tonight, okay, for the second part of our show, okay? And with that being said, now I gotta go. Bye.
Listen close and listen carefully. The olive leaf extract can reverse high blood pressure and diabetic high blood sugar, or the sugar as some of our grandmamas may call it. It can also kill any nasty little bugs in your bodies like parasites, bacteria, fungi, tumors, and much, much more. And if that's not enough, you can also tell certain cancers like breast, prostate, colon, liver, and skin cancer to take a seat, because the olive leaf extract has been known to fight it. And their friend lupus can get it too, okay? So I need my winos to be in good health, because we have some good dragging to do. So visit myoliveleaf.biz to help get your health in order.
My name is Sierra Carroll. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I was gang raped March the 7th, 2021. I remember me trying to like sit down and stuff, and I wasn't able to sit because my vagina was hurting. That night, it was just hard for me because I just was all in my mind and trying to, just putting things in my head, trying to figure out what could have happened to me. The next day, the girl, Jay, she was basically leaving that day, going back to her home city, which is mine too, Richmond, Virginia. And my sister was there. She stayed there with us that night. I never mentioned anything to them that night because I was just trying to figure it out myself. So basically when she was ready to leave, I pulled her to the side apart from my sister, and I was asking her, I'm like, what supposedly happened last night? She goes to say that, what you mean? And I'm like, who was I supposedly been with someone or anything? Like, who was I with? They had to look inside my vagina, and then the lady told me that it was like as if that I just had a baby. Because mind you, I have been celibate for 2 years. I don't